Hi and welcome back. My name is Vita Janas. I'm a life coach and today I wanted to talk about changing unwanted behaviors. This information applies to people pleasing, losing your control with the kids, repeating the same arguments, fights, going back to unhealthy relationships, or anything that you feel stuck in. I will go through the process step by step using an example from my personal life. And together, we will learn how to set ourselves free. Okay, the stage is set. Let's begin. If you feel impatient, here are the steps we're going to be talking about. Become aware, name the trigger, identify automatic behaviors, acknowledge feelings and sensations in your body, get to the root cause, practice mindfulness, and wrap yourself with love. If you're watching this video, you probably completed the first step, become aware. Before you change anything, you have to know what is not working and what needs your attention. An example from my life would be this. When I write, create something new, or have an idea, I often share it with my husband. He has a habit of interrupting, asking questions, or commenting without me finishing my thought, which makes me frustrated. I get angry and stop talking. Eventually, he apologizes, listens, but at that point, I'm no longer authentic, so my words and ideas lose their power. The worst part is that the next time I repeat the scenario, so I'm aware that I'm a participant in this unhealthy dynamic and I want to change my behavior. Step 2, name the trigger. What made you act, feel, and behave this way? Was it the loud noise, the door slamming, a snarky comment, ignorance, an eye roll? Maybe you saw something that led you to a long judgmental rant in your head. In my case, the answer is pretty easy, interruption. But in other situations, the trigger is not as obvious. So to clarify, you can ask the question, what felt off? And then trust your intuition to give you the answer. Step 3, identify automatic behaviors. These are the things that we do without thinking, but each time they're the same or at least very similar. It might be that you start talking in a higher pitched voice when you're asking for help because unconsciously you want to sound weaker. Perhaps you check your phone each time you feel uncomfortable. When I get interrupted, I start arguing, blaming, I leave the room and end the conversation abruptly. All these reactions are like an autopilot controlling me, my actions, and the whole situation. Step 4, acknowledge feelings, sensations, and reactions in your body. Notice that I asked to name feelings instead of name emotions. We claim the labels and state logical information. I'm angry, upset, you hurt me, but we do not allow ourselves to feel it. This step is so important, yet usually we skip it because it's uncomfortable. We don't know how to stay with our feelings. We try to numb them, fix ourselves. We're addicted to doing and don't spend enough time learning our own information processing. What hurt feels like to you? Does it have a color? Can you feel it in one particular area, or is it stagnant like a ball in your throat? Does it move like a tingling sensation? It won't go away until you stay with it long enough. I, for example, when get triggered, feel energy in my stomach. I clench my jaw, my breath becomes shallow, my pupils get smaller. I feel shut down and protective. I'm vulnerable, but I don't want to be, so I do the opposite, I attack. These are all the cues for me that I'm no longer present and I need to pause. Step 5, get to the root cause. The root cause is never the behavior, but the fear and feeling that hides underneath. I use this question with my clients to get to the core, and it works every single time. When was the first time you felt this way? 98% of the time, it brings us all the way back to the childhood when we learned a defense mechanism that eventually turned into a repetitive behavior. In my case, my parents believed that a child should be seen but not hurt. What I had to say, what I thought, didn't really matter as long as I behaved and was a good girl. I was often interrupted, silenced, teased for being Miss Know-it-all, seeking attention. For my mom, my dad always came first, before her children. So she would answer her phone in the middle of me talking and sharing, or she would leave the room as soon as he would come back from work. For my dad, work always came first, so he never listened in the first place. Later, it turned into this habit that in order to be believed, I had to prove that what I said or knew was true and worthy of someone's attention. It grew even bigger when I started working, and I had to prove my worth to the men that were my bosses. I have the looks of this blonde, young, naive girl, so I had to be overly prepared, talk with less emotion, to be taken seriously. I got good at it, I knew how to play this game, but when it came to my husband, I wanted him to believe and respect me without questioning. Usually I love that he challenges me and engages in conversation with his detailed and analytical, curious mind. But I realized that I feel threatened when I try to share a new idea that I haven't articulated fully and he questions it. I feel caught off guard and exposed, even though he's not trying to catch me. It all comes from my childhood belief that if I want to be seen, I have to come with a logical, rational argument. Otherwise, it's useless chatter and a waste of time. Step 6, practice mindfulness. Now that we have the awareness, we can take responsibility and grow beyond old tendencies. To change anything without this knowledge is extremely hard. That is why motivation, hacks, and tricks don't work. Personally, I find it misleading when people, especially experts, say, just let go. It doesn't work. You cannot outsmart yourself or cut corners. At the same time, this awareness and intellectual knowing won't mean a thing until you start taking a different action. Here's a paradox. Before you do anything, you gotta get still first. Because if you don't, your old habits and autopilot will take over before you can even think of something new. Make a pause your best friend. 5 minutes of meditation in the morning is great, but it's not enough if you carry on for the rest of the day as usual. Mindfulness has to be applied as you go. Take a moment to breathe, check in, feel your body so you can say, I recognize the sensation. My old self wants to react, but I choose a different approach. As a life coach, I help clients every day to do steps 1 to 5. Gain awareness, go to the root, see the triggers. But the 6th is completely up to them and I'm powerless. This is where many people stop as well because automatic urges are so strong. They're deeply rooted in our muscle memory, nervous system, and we're addicted to the speed, this pace where we just go, go, go and react. Freedom means responsibility. No one can do it for you. You gotta be disciplined with pausing. This is the work, to be mindful in the present moment. So you can create your desired reality instead of constantly react and respond. The good news is that it's totally possible, and the more you do it, the easier it gets and your automatic actions will change. I sometimes suggest people to create a safe word and use it as a grounding tool. When you recognize the trigger behavior, say the word, old me, fear talk, red flag, or anything else you can think of to remind yourself to stay in the now. When my husband interrupts me, I do not jump to arguing anymore. I listen, breathe, and say, hold this thought. I will answer your question, if I can, after I finish. He's happy, I'm happy, everybody's happy. Final 7th step, wrap yourself with love. The process of change is slow, bumpy. You take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a journey of a true warrior who is willing to show up every single day. That is why it's so important to do it with kindness and celebrate even the smallest victories. Leave yourself sticky notes with encouraging messages. Celebrate each time you react differently by giving yourself a hug, a high five, and thank yourself while looking in the mirror. You did it. When you feel uncomfortable sensations, remind yourself, I allow it to be with love and compassion for myself. This too shall pass. When you learn the trigger, state it out loud and say that it's nor negative nor bad. It just shows a part of you that needs healing. And when you overcome a challenge, remember to rest, to allow your body to absorb the new information, and drink plenty of water to detox the past and move the energy. Nurture yourself as you would a small child and be so gentle. Once again, all the steps. Become aware, name the trigger, identify automatic behaviors, acknowledge feelings, sensations in your body, get to the root cause, practice mindfulness as you go, and wrap yourself with love. Now, to get the best results out of this video, write the steps down with your own hand and put the note somewhere you can see and be reminded that 1, you can change, and 2, here's the process. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. It helps more people to see this information. If you feel called, share the link with your friends and leave a comment below with a question you might have, or just name the change you want to make in your life. My name is Vita. Janas. Stay safe and aware. Love, blessings.